Sure. We're gonna pick up. Yeah, I guess the stream had went out. It's raining over here, lightning, so it might have something to do with that. But yeah, we're just gonna continue on. Any brothers holding something?
Yeah, I
Got
got
it.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verses 15. It says, "Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." And that word study, I believe it's the word spudazo. And when you look at that word spudazo, it goes to being diligent. So you have to be diligent and actually study these certain breakdowns, like the bishop was saying. You got to be like a breakdown nerd. You know, you got to, like the brother Rock was saying, we're gonna have people coming to us, you know, in that time or even before that time. We're gonna have to know how to answer these people through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah. We're gonna have to be able to study these things, get deep into it. You know, not just reading and just closing a book. Actually, getting a notepad. Writing breakdowns.
Right.
And that's gonna help to get more understanding into these scriptures and to actually give a word on the spot.
That's right. I got a quick precept. This is Proverbs 15 and 28. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pour out evil things. Like you said, the precept you brought out, which the Spirit wanted to come out a second time. Studying, man, studying so that we may be able to answer. Like you said, that flood is coming. People gonna have questions. Is it working? Stream.
I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah. So
it's on.
Okay. Yeah. So we're supposed to be studying to be able to know what we're talking about, man. All right. And we don't want it to be, leading people astray and not really knowing what this thing is about. People gonna come with questions. Looking for the answers. The Lord established, set us up, of course, beginning with the apostles and elders, to be the leaders of the people.
That's right. I got something for you. This is 1 Peter 3 and 15.
Ah, man, that's a spirit.
But sanctify the Lord in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you the reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. So the scripture is saying you're supposed to be ready to answer the questions when there's another man that's inquiring about your hope.
Right.
Okay? Because our hope is extensive. Our hope extends beyond Babylon the Great. Okay? A lot of people's hope is in materialistic things, cars, clothes, marriages, careers. But our hope is extensive. It goes into another lifestyle. It goes into different planets. It goes into multiple women. It goes into a different government structure. Mm-hmm. So when there's Jakes that's coming up to you asking you about your hope, about what you claim to believe in, you're supposed to have an answer. And if you don't have the answers, then what? Then your hope is not really where you think it's at.
Right.
Your hope is not aligned with what it's supposed to be aligned with. And that's what the brother was saying. That's where you check yourself. That's where you check yourself. Because you can think that you trying to excel in the spirit by trying to do carnal things, whether it's working out, whether it's career-wise, whether it's, push-ups, diet, and you think, yeah, I'm trying to grow in the spirit. All in all, you really forsaking the spirit. Because you think you're trying to grow in the spirit, but no, you're feeding your flesh.
Right.
And you're using that as a tool, like you progressing. Yeah, I do 100 push-ups a day. I work on this, I work on that, I jog. I'm building my family up. I got this job, I make this amount of money. But all in all, you ain't even read the book of Revelations. So the scriptures say you're supposed to be give an answer to them that's inquiring about your hope and meekness, man. I just want to bring that out, bro.
I got a quick concept. This is Matthew 6 and 24. It says, no man, speaking on what the bishop was just brought out, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yahweh Shai and Mammon. And as the bishop was going into earlier, he was talking about, when we, actually the captain was talking about money. You have some cats that may want to, not prioritizing the truth first, because the truth is supposed to be a lifestyle, and your job and everything else is supposed to be your side hustle. So So if you're not prioritizing and putting this truth first, you really don't love the truth anyway. You really hate it in the first place. Because if you really love this thing, you be cut. You feel some kind of way when you can't do what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
You know? You don't need nobody to tell you. You already feel that way because what? The scriptures say examine thyself daily. So you're supposed to already be examining yourself to know where your flaws at so you can correct yourself, you know? And if you're not doing that, you know, then a brother can come, the spirit to have a brother come check you on it. As the brother was saying, Tazabah was saying, push you through the finish line. Hey man, come on, let's get it going. And then if that don't happen, the first line of defense is you checking yourself. The second line of defense is the brother checking you. You don't want to get to the third.
You don't want to do the third.
You don't want to get to the third. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you have to hold yourself to a level of accountability in this thing. This isn't a kid show. This isn't for shits and giggles, man. We have our mind and our eyes set on high, you know? And we always bring out in Isaiah 33 and 6, it says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. The fear of the Lord is thy treasure, right? But if you, where's your wisdom? How are you getting your wisdom? Where's your knowledge coming from? You know, if it's not coming through the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, then it ain't really knowledge. It ain't really fear, and it's not gonna. You're not gonna be stable in that day because, as I said earlier, what measure you put into this thing, as the Apostle Tahar said, what you put into it is what you're gonna get out of it.
I got something for you.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 18 and 20. Before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation thou shalt find mercy. Humble thyself before thou be sick, and in the time of sins show repentance. So the scriptures say before judgment, do what? Examine yourself, man. Basically check your parameters, man. Check and see what you got going on. You know, you could get lost in the sauce, man, and you won't even know you're getting lost in the sauce. You know? Because you think you on point. You're going through the motions of the truth and ain't nobody said nothing. Just because you show up to camp and you might do 3-4 videos a week, you think you're good, but then your life, you're all into partying, you all here, you all there, you with this woman, you with that woman, just going, you know, going ape shit, you know. But then you have a standard set up in the truth and you go through the motions and you think you're good, but that ain't gonna cut it, man.
Right.
You know, because when it's really time to present what we're supposed to know on the forefront, you'll find that scripture say you don't know what you ought to know. You know. So that's where humility comes in at, and that's where, and I said in the lesson last night, being humble and hungry is a recipe for success, man. You gotta stay hungry and you gotta stay humble. That's how you grow. You know, desire that sincere milk. Sometimes you gotta just go back to the basics. Sometimes you just need to get the breakdowns on how we the Israelites, man.
Yeah.
Simple stuff, man.
Yeah.
And build off that block. You know? That's how you increase in your learning. That's how you're able to hit multiple parameters in the spirit when you have multiple foundational pieces you can build off of, man. Okay, you can't, this truth ain't about being one-dimensional. It's a requirement to grow.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. Back
Mhm.
you up. This is Haggai 1 and 7. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. You know, short, simple, direct to the point. Consider your ways, man. Going to what? It's constant self-examination on a day-to-day basis. You know, am I really, you know, growing in the spirit? Am I doing what, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai demands of me? Am I being too lax? Am I, you know, you don't want to get into that space, man. So the scriptures say what? To consider your ways. You know, put it out there and actually examine it. And then whatever's not right, you gotta fix it, man. Through the spirit. You know.
I got something.
Yeah.
So James 1 and 21, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and that word superfluity means excess. It says, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. Just like Bishop just said, you know, being humble. You know, it says receive with meekness the engrafted word. And so that's really the main thing is receiving the word. You know, growing in the knowledge, man. You know, and that word engrafted means planted. You know, it says which is able to save your souls, and that's ultimately what's going to save our souls is getting into these scriptures. The scriptures say, "Blessed is he that readeth." So, right. That's our responsibility to purge out, you know, we always read scriptures about purging out, you know, the world, purging out, you know, your old man, all right? You know, but application is key. We got to really stay on top of, starting with myself, staying on top of, you know, your responsibilities in the truth. I keep going. It says, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. Like I said, action-based. It says deceiving your own selves. And that's what the bishop said as well also is, you know, you may think that you're doing things that are beneficial, like, you know, you're doing certain things that carnally, you know, and you think that it has a spiritual benefit. But like he said, you feeding your flesh. So that's what the scriptures say, deceiving your own self. So you can actually deceive your own self.
Absolutely.
And what did you just read again? What did it say?
Yeah,
Consider your ways.
Yeah,
Consider your ways.
Consider your ways, right.
Yeah, consider your ways. You know, and the reason why you gotta consider your ways is because you can literally deceive yourself.
Right.
Your mind, that demon, you know, the old man can basically tell you that nah, you're doing right. And that's what is that? Pride. Pride will always tell you that, well, nah, you doing the right thing. You doing enough. You know, you on point. You know, you doing what you should be doing. But like I said, you know, everyone should be in the mindset of when lessons like this come out, everyone really getting cut. All right, because it's always you know more to do. You know, you should always look at lessons like this and you know, be humble by what the Spirit is saying.
You're supposed to be ready to receive cuts. Whenever you see a lesson like this, you're supposed to be, oh, I'm about to watch that, sit up in your seat and take it. You know, get everything you need out of it so you can take that and scrutinize yourself, man.
Right.
You know, because this, hey, I've seen more men fall out and come in, you know, and remain. And you look at the apostles, when the apostles did the lesson, they said out of that class, it was over 50-something people in that class, and it was only, what, he said, 3 or 4 men that's still here today. That shook me up. You know, that made me look at myself. You know, and as well as you're supposed to look at yourself and see, well, why am I so damn special?
Right.
You know, well, why am I the cream of the crop? We gotta remember, man. The Lord said our righteousness is as what? Filthy rags, man. We dealing with a Creator who it pleased Him to bruise His only begotten Son, man, that He loved and cherished. Who are we?
Right.
It pleased Him to bruise His only Son. So we supposed to be in this thing digging it out like the Apostle Ramla did the lesson today. Dig in, man. You know, it's coming to a time where, hey, either you got it or you don't, man. And you ain't gonna be able to blame the next man for what you don't got, especially when it's been liberally given to you and the spread was made visible for you to go up and eat whatsoever you wanted to eat, man.
Right.
You know, it was your decision that you ain't eat off that certain plate, man. You know, anybody else precepts?
All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this one back out, you know, because brother's touching on it heavily. This Lamentations 3:40, it says, "Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord." And when you go into the word search, it goes into basically exposing yourself, you know, because once you expose yourself to the things that you're lacking in, that leaves room for you to, you know, recognize it and then work towards improving it. And then when you go to the word try, in the blue letter, it says to search for, search out, examine, investigate, to search through, explore, to examine thoroughly.
Investigate. You see that? That means you gotta goddamn be like a forensic scientist to your own goddamn self. The powder, the cloth, you know, trying to find all kind of evidence where you off at, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we supposed to be moving, man. You know, not making excuses for our shortcomings. That ain't gonna get you nowhere, man. You supposed to be in the spirit of self-investigation, man, like a goddamn Sherlock Holmes, man. Supposed to be a private eye to yourself, man. That ain't right about me. That ain't right. This ain't right. I could work better on this. Got more evidence where I'm slipping at. And you take these evidence and you compile it, and then what are you doing? What is the forensic scientist doing? Why they compiling all this evidence? To find the criminal. So when you do that to yourself, you find the culprit within yourself, and you can get rid of it.
Yeah.
You can identify them and get rid of them. You can work at little things to get rid of the culprit of why you fell short in these areas. That's why it's good to search yourself, man. The scriptures gave us the light. It tells us that in what's that, Matthew 5? You are the light of the world.
Yeah.
So if we're the light, that means we can identify all kind of problems within ourselves. It's just, are you willing to take that accountability? Or do you want to sweep it under the rug because you want other people to think you ain't got no flaws? That's the key. And that's where humility comes in at, man.
And the second part of that verse, so once you searched out and tried your ways, it says, and then turn again to the Lord. So once you recognize the problem, it behooves you to take it to the Lord, man, and ask Him for what you need improvement in,
Right.
man. Turn it over to the Lord. Don't search yourself out and you see all these flaws and holes and schisms and still think you're good. You know, that's a side of pride right there. And you think, oh, I'm good, it'll pass over.
Right.
Oh man, turn again to the Lord. Because hey, that one schism or that one hole could snowball into something major, man. Next thing you know, you're looking at yourself on the outside, man. You know? That was it on that.
I got a quick one real quick. This is James. I know you brought this out, but I want to bring it out again. This is James 1:20. It says, but be doers of the word and be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Okay? For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he behold himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he is. All right. So you gotta be in a position to where you examine yourself, you see your flaws, and you do something about it, man. You know, you turn it over to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You get into these scripts, and you do what you do what's required.
Right.
Okay, that's it. Because if you're doing anything less than that, you are like a man who forgot what he looked like.
That's right.
And what kind of man is that? You can't even remember your own face. Your face. You know? You sitting there talking to a professor to be a man of the Lord, you in the truth, you know, but then you getting offended because you cut. You should be happy that you just got cut, bro.
Yep. Well,
You
you say that. Happy is the man that is reproved.
Yeah.
You know?
What man want to walk around doing the wrong shit all the time? You know? Hey, you just gonna let me do the wrong shit? Nobody gonna correct me? I didn't know I was doing wrong, and here it is. You knew you were gonna correct me? Man, thank you for correcting me. Then you got an idiot, the one that's not a doer of the word. Man, I ain't trying to hear that shit.
Right.
You know, just that mentality or inside you say, oh, that's not me. That ain't me. Instead of considering, well, you know what, that may be me. Shit, that sounds like me. Let me take a look to see if that is me.
Right.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, you know.
That's like if Jake, you tell he got something in between his teeth and you get offended. Man, why you all in my goddamn mouth? Like, bro,
Right.
what do you mean? I'm
Right.
trying to, you know,
Exactly.
help you help yourself, man.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a quick precept. Galatians 6:3. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. So the scriptures say, if you think yourself to be something when we're nothing, hey, we only something in the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shai. It's not about your position at a job. It's not about your yearly income. It's not about the car you drive, the house you live in, or the woman you got. That don't make you nothing. That don't get no merit, no brownie points in the eyes of the Most High. Right. It's about where do you stand at in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai? How does He look at you? Are you a good servant to Him? Right. Are you a loyal, representative of Him? So if you think anything else outside of that makes you something, you deceiving yourself. Because what happens when America collapses and you don't have these same luxuries?
Exactly.
Then who are you? You're not the job. You wasn't that position. Your woman left you. You wasn't that relationship. Okay? Your bank account is through. You wasn't that bank account. But at the end of the day, you're always going to be who the Lord created you to be. So where do you stand at with that? That's where the scriptures say, if you think yourself to be something when you're nothing, you deceive yourself. We have to always move in humility and understand that we're replaceable.
Yeah.
We can always be replaced. If you can't get it done, there's a Jake out here that would be willing to do 10 times more than you. And the Lord will find them and use them. And we have to keep that in our mind.
Right.
We got the golden opportunity. A lot of Jays didn't get this opportunity. But just because you got the opportunity don't mean that you a dead shoe-in for the election. There's another Jake out here that might come in this thing and might wipe you clean. So don't just be humble and work. Humble and work. Be charitable. Be thankful. Remember the scripture say 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, it says, be thankful, for this is the will of the Most High concerning you. And if you show gratitude and if you express thanks, then you're going to be the ultimate servant. Because you're going to be glad that you a servant in the biggest mansion in fucking the state of Georgia. You ain't going to be worried about, I'm a slave. I'm a servant in the biggest mansion in the state. Like, look at Butler, Jeffrey out for the Fresh Prince. Nigga was happy, bro. You know? He was happy. He tried, hey, Master Will, is this good? Master William, Master Philip, right? So what? If we the servants of Yahweh Bashim Shai, we supposed to be happy to be serving him, man. Because it's a Jake out here right now that the Lord can raise up and put the spirit on and then come in and he'll be happy to serve Yahweh Bashim Shai. So don't think the Lord got to put up with mediocrity, man.
Right.
Apostle R said that the Lord expects nothing less than diligence, man. And that's just it. You know?
Hey, the Apostle Ramlat said earlier in his video Dig In, he said the scriptures say, my servant shall eat. Are you a servant of the Lord? You know, that cut me right there. You know, because I was really thinking about that. I was actually considering that, because that's your works right now is going to determine in that day of whether or not you're a servant of the Lord.
That's right, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking, wow, am I a servant of the Lord? Am I? That goes into self-examination. You know, looking at yourself, taking a look. What am I doing? What can I do better? You know, you can't just, when you watch these videos and you watch these men that do this work, you really got to consider what the Spirit is bringing out. You know, you just can't take it for shits and giggles and entertainment. Elder Apostle Tahar, in his video, he said a lot of y'all watching this just for entertainment. You know, are you watching this for entertainment, or are you trying to get something out of it? You know, we're living in a time where we are literally on the edge. We're on the cusp of everything coming together. And the scriptures say, my servant shall eat. Are you the servant of the Lord? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Because, man, it's going to be hell. And that's one of the worst ways to die. That is the worst way to die, is to starve.
Absolutely.
You know?
Scripture say that.
So, that's all I had.
I got anybody got a brief?
I can take it real quick. But go ahead.
This is James 1 and 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Verse 6. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. And that goes into the importance of prayer. You know, being able to come to the Lord and admit your mistakes, because the Lord already knows the Lord already knows what you're going to ask for. He already knows your weaknesses, like the bishop was saying. You got to come to the Lord in humbleness and sincerity. So you have to ask and actually believe that He's going to give you these things. You're not going to pray for, an Instagram model or the 2021 newest ride or whatever. You're going to pray for spiritual benefits that's going to build you up and keep you going. Because like the officer Nathaniel was saying, we're going to be coming to some serious times where you're going to have to build yourself up. Everybody's on this party and BS mode right now because everything's opening back up. You can't fall into that same spirit of the world, going into that murk spirit. That's what the world is pushing now. Everything's back open, everything's cool. We know that everything isn't cool. So we have to come, to the Lord and ask Him for things that we lack in.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Lord will sit back and watch you struggle until you humble down and ask Him for help. He'll sit back and watch you struggle. Like, damn, is this guy gonna ask me, come to me and ask me to deliver him? So the Lord can't deliver you out of something if you don't ask Him, if you don't actually go to Him humbly. Exactly. And seek His help. Otherwise you just gonna watch it like, yo, this guy's finished.
This second Ezra 2.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
And 26. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish. And this goes back to what the brother Nathaniel was saying. You're gonna know if you're a servant in the day when the Lord come through for you. Now, what is the servant of the Lord according to the scriptures? The prophets. You would always see that constantly reiterated. My servants, the prophets. My servants, the prophets. So that means that you got to be into the prophecies. So if you ain't into the prophecies and you ain't prophesying, you ain't a servant. It don't care how many times you go to camp.
Right.
If you don't know these breakdowns, if you don't know the prophecies, if you don't know what you ought to know, how could you be a servant if the servants of the Lord is prophets?
Right.
That's why the apostles and brothers push us to get into these things, because that's how you build your relationship with Yahweh Bashim Shai, because that's his testimony, the spirit of prophecy. So it says, as for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble in heaven is coming, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. And that's what we ultimately looking for. We're looking to be protected when the Lord brings his wrath and indignation. But if you ain't scared of the Lord now, then don't think that when all hell breaks loose, that's your opportunity to finally be scared, man. And then, no, man. You put the Lord on the back burner now, the Lord put you on the back burner then. It's simple. Okay? It's simple science. You play with the Lord now in your liberty, the Lord gonna forget about you.
Yeah.
That's what he said. What did Yahweh Bashim Shai say? He said, because you denied me, I will deny you. And how do you deny the Lord? In your works. That's how you deny the Lord, man. The things that you're doing. So you constantly come up with reasonings as to why this thing can't get completed and why you can't finish your task. And then on the flip side, you're going to want, like I always say, you're going to want the Lord to bust open the sky for you, send down the angel Gabriel, destroy 100 troops, you flying all around Babylon, picking people up, doing whatever you want to do, burning people, picking up tanks, and you think the Lord going to do all that. Can't even get the Lord 2 hours. See, this is where you got to consider your ways. This is where it starts. The Lord ain't just going to magically appear and have you doing that stuff.
Right.
You got to tap into it through your faith. And if you can't tap into your faith now in your liberty, how the hell are you going to tap into your faith in distress? Don't make sense. So this is where we got to consider our ways and understand that this ain't no fantasy book.
Right.
You know, this ain't no Dragon Ball Z anime or fucking Naruto. This is real life. You got to draw out the spirit of the Lord, but it starts with what you put in yourself now. If you can't have faith when everything is all good, how the hell are you going to have faith in distress, in anguish, in torment, when you really try? Don't think you're just going to magically get power. No, it starts with building your faith, man. Romans 1:17. It says the righteousness of the Most High is revealed from faith to faith. I mean, you got to grow in the spirit. You got to come up on a level in the faith. And that's why the Apostle Sahar did the video. He said a lot of you lack diligence and faith. And that's what you lacking faith makes you come up with these excuses. Right. The game plan is over. Either you're going to build a nation or you're going to go do what you want to do. Simple. You know? You have something going on?
Yeah, I got something. This is 2nd Ezra 7:7. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there. Hold on. Oh yeah, as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. Yeah, so you know this is like the brother's going to. This is severe, man. This is a position that requires tunnel vision. This when you're on a tightrope, like brothers always bring up a tightrope, and you got fire on the one side, water on the left. You got to focus on your steps, like brother's saying. Consider your ways. So you gotta really focus in and you know what I'm saying. Stay on point before lest you fall. All right. It says and one only path between them both, even between the fire and water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. All right, yeah, so you know that's pretty much the point. But this is a narrow entrance, okay, where you have danger on both sides, and that's really the time that we're in right now. It's danger all around, man. This world is full of danger and wickedness and folly, man. You know, and we're walking the straight gate. We're walking that path, you know, and you know, it's important that we that we constantly do what we gotta do, maintain, and abound, like brothers was going into. I think that was the point. I think if brothers got any closing.
I had some back you up on the 2:07. This is Proverbs 4:25. Let thy eyes look right on, and let thy eyelids look straight before thee. Like you said, you have tunnel vision in this truth. You know, it says 26. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Which I believe you're going to that word ponder. It means like to look at carefully. So watching how you walk in this faith, like you said, you got the fire on one side, water on the left. You know, and walking this tightrope. And any false move, that could basically be your downfall, man. So you want to ponder your footsteps, right? It says ponder the path of thy feet and let all thy ways be established. 27. Turn not to the right hand nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. You know, that was the main point. That's why I had some. All right, we can sign off, I guess.
Yeah, so hey, Lord willing, you were edified. Lord willing, this lesson motivates you and keeps brothers on fire. You know, we gotta keep on pushing and enduring. You know, the Spirit is showing us what we ought to do. So that shows you that something big is getting ready to happen, because the Lord is really tightening up ship, man. You know, so yeah, brother, just stay on point and build your faith, constantly endure, give diligence, and with that, giving all praises to
Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakodash.
That belongs to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom.
Oh.